Happy Wednesday. Welcome to live stream. Thank you for joining me. I'm Teacher Annie. Today's topic is one of my favorite topics, which is weddings. In addition to weddings, we're going to talk about elopements and micro weddings. What's going on in your world of weddings? I'm going to start by prepping some of my greenery, and we're going to make a couple bouquets to start. So we have here in the studio Ricky and Leanne, who is running our tech today. She told me to go easy on her. I don't know what that means because I'm just doing my thing. And we have David with us virtually, and Dove and Michael. And teacher Michelle is lucky. She is on vacation. Susie and Caledonia are also online supporting us. And let's see, I'm just getting this silver dollar eucalyptus, which is kind of wild today, prepped. The first bouquet we're going to make, well, I'm going to make and you're going to watch, is a neutral bouquet. I'm still getting a lot of requests for like white and green, maybe with a touch of blush or peach. As you know, I have a floral design business in addition to teaching. That's called Floral Sunshine, and then also started a side business called Elope in Portland in 2018, which was kind of the perfect timing for all that to happen. We didn't know it at the time, but that was right before COVID. And then during COVID, business flourished. Unlike my other business, which really slowed down. So we have a few different kinds of eucalyptus. This is like a spiral eucalyptus, but it's, I don't know, it's locally grown. It looks really a little bit different. So I'm curious how our fellow florists are booking their summer. Are they booked? Are we slower than normal? I know that we're a little slower. We're tracking slower than normal, but we have an uptick on our elopements and some micro weddings. Ricky, do you have any friends getting married this summer?
No, I don't know anyone getting married. All of my friends have gotten married and they're having babies this year.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a different chapter.
They're on the next step.
Interesting, I met with cousins, second cousins once removed, like, it's my cousin's kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're getting married, well, not the two kids, but that sounds kind of
weird.
But one of my cousin's sons is getting married, and I'm actually doing a wedding this summer.
Oh my goodness.
I thought my wedding days were over.
Wow. Where is that at? Is that local or is that elsewhere?
They're gonna be out by Stevenson.
Okay, so local-ish.
Local-ish, yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be beautiful, of
Yes,
course.
of
'cause
course,
I'm doing
you're
it.
gonna do it.
Hello.
Hello. If you need an assistant, you just let me know.
Actually, I was looking at that, but it's in the heart of August when the whole world is weddinging, so I think I'm
You're on your own?
on my own, unfortunately, because I did look at that. I was like, okay, who can I bring in? And it was like, yeah, right, not happening.
The other awesome thing that's happening is tomorrow we have the wedding boot camp here in the studio, or not the studio, but in the classroom next door. Very excited to be teaching that with Leanne.
We've got cool flowers.
I saw that.
I know. Amnesia roses and lilacs. I mean, hello.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So I'm just prepping all my greens so that I'm not fumbling while I'm making.
Jim Doyle says I should just have the whole staff come do the wedding. I have to agree with that.
Yeah. So let's see here.
It has been done before. 3 years ago was the last time I did a wedding, and Hitomi and Ricky helped me with it.
Nice. So I am, look at these chunks
Oh,
of,
that's beautiful.
so let me get the close-up camera, Leanne. Leanne, can we do this?
We can. Leanne is ready. It is there. It looks beautiful. Oh, look at that.
Awesome.
You are Vanna. Okay,
So
bring
we had
it
a-
back to you.
Leanne and I had to look this up, but this is a cherry laurel. It came from my yard, and it is just so full, beautiful, and it smells really nice too. And if you look, if you had looked when it was close-up camera time, there's like tiny little flowers that are kind of reminiscent of like a wax flower. Like tiny little white flowers with a little center. It's adorable. And it smells really nice.
Angie says hi to you and that she loves you.
Oh, thank you. Hello. All right. So, getting these bits ready. Saving these little bits, the laterals, so that I can do our last design with them. So I'm going to be using some peach mini carnations with a variety of white flowers. And I don't dislike carnations like some people do, but I like them when they're nice and bloomy. They're just so cute. Otherwise, if they're just closed up and they're not fun.
YouTube is busy with their thumbs up. They're
Ah.
going crazy.
Thank you.
And Diane loves your cherry laurel. She wants one of those.
Oh, I didn't even know I had one until today. So that was really fun and surprising. Oops. I'm
So
dropping
you
stuff.
asked if people were busy, and it's kind of across the board.
Yeah.
Rick said he's a little slower and happy to freelance and travel if anybody needs help. Drake says he's super busy for the summer so far. And then I know Cynthia has opened her business now and is kind of going crazy on that. So yeah, you're hearing both sides of it.
Okay, awesome. That's probably way too many mini carns, but
You can never have too many flowers.
yes, that's true. So I like to use economy blooms, standard flowers that are available year-round and at a lower price point. So one of my favorites is this, we're gonna do a close-up, Leanne, of white cushion mums.
We are there. Hold it for a second. Yay.
I use them in most of our weddings that include the color white. I kind of use them like lower in the arrangement and then pop the more beautiful and important flowers above. And it's a nice base level flower, I guess is what I would call it. Is that the right terminology, Leanne?
I think so.
Or at least somewhat to be explained.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. So
It's like having flour and sugar in your house, you know?
Right.
You just have the base stuff,
exactly.
like I cook.
Right. So I have a egg or ball or round shaped floral mesh chicken wire contraption. So then I'm going to start with that. And I tend to start by covering a little bit of it, but not all of it. So that I can hold it at the binding point down here where my hand is. And then I'll start by adding some line flowers. I do like the floral mesh because it helps with keeping my flowers from squishing together. So you can be a little bit more cognizant of your recipe and how much you're using. And that's another thing I was going to recommend is that, you know, with these smaller wedding budgets that at least I've been seeing, it's really important to have your recipes really well dialed in. And ordering, we were talking about this, typically we order 10% more than what we need. That way we can account for breakage and spoilage, I guess. And then it's really hard to talk and design at the same time.
Jim pointed out that contraption is a word that we haven't used in a while.
Okay. So ordering 10%, having your recipes dialed in, calculated really well, and then ordering just about 10% more than you need, but not overbuying just because we're at market and you see all these beautiful things and we want all the beautiful things. It's okay to buy a couple bunches of some extra beautiful things to add if it's in the color palette, but being aware of that.
Amy wants to know if there's a standard for breakage and spillage.
I think 10%, right? But I mean, it depends on the flower, right? So if you're ordering a lot of stock is one of those flowers that, you know, if you look at it wrong, it will just break. Or Asiatic lilies.
Those are my nightmare.
Joseph and I always joke about that. Like, they just look at them wrong and they hate you.
Yeah, it's like, don't sell lilies. I didn't say that, badly, Ann.
Oh, badly,
But they
Ann.
make
All flowers
they
are
break
beautiful.
all the time.
Yes, they do. And not all flowers I will put through the mesh. Sometimes I'll use the stalk on the outside of it and that helps cover some mechanics. So here we are.
We have other people that are also starting using economy blooms to
Awesome.
try to be able to give the look and everything. So you're right on trend, madam.
Yep, it's the way we have to do, right? But you know what? All flowers are beautiful, so we're still all winning.
So do you recipe out your things when you have an order?
Yes, I do. Very much so. It's not just for purchasing, but also when my designer, Kirsten, is working on an order, she knows exactly what my intentions were. So it's not a guessing game. Guessing games are not fun. So I'm using this ruscus. It's nice and the leaves are nice and broad so that it covers most of my floral mesh. And it's very bendy, so that also very much
Bendy
helps.
is another technical term.
Yes, flexible. It's flexible. So it's kind of boring, but it's white and green. And then I'll be adding the peach. And then some other beautiful things.
So this is interesting. Sailor says she just discovered pink soldado. Have you ever seen that?
I have never seen that.
Me neither. So Sailor, you beat us all.
Is it like a light pink or like a darker pink?
Good question. So Sailor, light or dark? She said it looks similar to a stilby.
Oh, wow.
But if it's like
A little
soldado,
pretty.
it'd mean it would hold better.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Then Susie has a good question for all of our friends in the Southern Hemisphere. When is their wedding season?
Oh, yeah, that is a good question.
Are they opposite of us for weddings?
Well,
I mean, it
isn't
would make sense.
like Arizona like opposite of us because it's so darn hot?
True. Christina.
Where's
chime in
Christina?
there. Christina, tell us. When's the
Christina.
wedding season in Arizona? Diane Murphy says that white and green is still on trend and one of her biggest sellers.
Yes, for sure.
Sailor says it was light pink and it was dyed but looked great,
Ooh.
just like a stilby.
Wow. I'd have to check. I have to find out if we can get that here.
Scott wants you to start over because he was late.
Oop, too bad. Scott, you need to sign up and come tomorrow to our class. You have to like beam yourself up and go.
That works. Works for me. I'll make sure I have enough flowers for him.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just kind of dotting the peach through because they're just an accent.
Sonnet says South Africa is August to April.
Okay.
So that is the opposite of us.
Had a little casualty there.
Carol says YouTube is doing a whole bunch of advertisements. I am so sorry, Carol. I can't change that now, but we'll look into why that happened. And it might be because I'm the tech queen, and I apologize. Dang. So thanks for letting me know, Carol. Pop over to Facebook, no advertisements. Yeah.
There we go. All right, so
Scott says he would love to, but LOL. Christina says Arizona is November to May.
okay. I'm just making sure my mechanics are covered here. I need to check my notes, see if there's anything else that I'm missing.
They're loving it, lots of hearts, you're doing grand.
Thank you. And I just keep turning the bouquet and so I can see what's going on from all angles. Making sure I have dimension coming up through the top and not just the sides. Oops, that one misbehaving.
That cherry laurel is just the coolest.
I know, it fills the bouquet up really nicely too. Just deciding whether I can use this funny piece. I don't know about this piece. has its mind of its own.
Rick is wondering how everyone's admin day went.
That's right. I forgot to wish everyone a happy admin day.
He says ours was a bust. We're thinking
Oh, really?
because everyone is on spring break.
Oh, yes, that could make a big difference.
And then Dana's got a question over on YouTube for you. I'm gonna try and decipher this. I think that they mean how many people are asking for like wedding arch flowers usually, and is that something that a bride on a budget could get for their wedding?
Well, I guess that depends on what their budget looks like, right? I mean, I feel like a lot of people say I'm on a budget, but what does that mean? Does that mean you have $500 or does that mean you have $5,000? You know, I have a lot of people that say they are on a small budget and have described that range very much so. So I guess it just depends on how big their wedding party is and if they have money left for their ceremony. So I got the basic part of this bouquet done. So I'm going to do one piece of tape. I use the 1/2 inch waterproof tape. And right now I have a pretty good shape. My mechanics are covered. And then I can add the fun stuff. Well, not that this isn't fun, but I wanted to add perhaps some anthurium. Use gorgeous white anthurium would be nice. Or if it was a client that didn't like tropicals, we could add some white ranunculus or regular ranunculus or clunies or butterfly ranunculus, and that would be really pretty. And that would be the frosting on the cake. So this is like the cake, and then the extra beautiful flowers would be floating above it.
So Rhonda got here just in time. She's on lunch hour in Hawaii, just
Oh.
as you start having anthurium.
Oh,
So,
perfect. Welcome from Hawaii. Aloha.
And then they would love a demonstration of your under the arm leaf stripping technique.
Oh,
I
yes.
must have missed that.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, how did I miss this?
All right, we'll have to do it on the next one. So I'm just adding. I haven't actually determined which one's the front. All sides look beautiful, but let's just go ahead and call it here. So I'm just placing these blooms. Very snug in the middle. That's why sometimes I don't tape till the end, but my hands were asking me to tape. Here we go. And I'm just grabbing the bottom and I can kind of pull it down and rotate it. And then adding more.
So Valerie, Jim, and Robin are all looking forward to the leaf stripping technique demonstration.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we can't miss out on that.
Okay.
This may be the highlight of your life.
Yes, this is my claim to fame.
I know, that is scary.
I know. I'm multi-talented. Okay. Get this in through. Okay, I'm going to take this tape off because it's not helping me. I'm going to have to consult Teacher Jerry on how she tapes and then manages to get things still through. She's got special magic powers. Right. So just adding. And then they're kind of like facing all kinds of which ways. So then I just turn anything that I want in a different way, pull. And I like these anthuriums a lot because they have, I'll probably add another one off camera, but they're, they kind of have a peachy tip. What is the technical term? Stamen? Nose?
Spade.
Spade. Spade?
S-P-A-T-H-E.
Spade. Okay, so this is kind of what this is looking like.
Spade and spadix, the two parts.
Okay. And I'm gonna go close up so that
Oh,
you can,
let me get in the right spot. Go down. There we go.
so you can
And
see
hold it for a little while.
right here.
Yeah, cool. See if you can move that leaf from underneath.
Oh, yes.
There. Oh, yeah. What
Rotate.
great close-up camera work.
Yes,
I'm impressed.
awesome. And then I have some of these Fatsia leaves already wired, so I'm gonna do a little color action. Oh my goodness, this one's so cute. I've never seen one so little and cute. I might have to not be just color.
Wasn't that the funniest
Yeah,
little leaf?
it needs
I
to,
love that.
it actually needs to be a part of the top
Yeah.
part of the bouquet. Cute. Adorable.
Yeah, I haven't seen little baby Fatsias like
I know. Where did you get them?
that. They were at the market this morning.
Oh.
I didn't even put in an order for baby Fatsia.
That sounds so funny, baby Fatsia. All right, now we're gonna tape. Right. And I will finish this one off camera, and then Ricky will get pictures of it tomorrow. Oops, I should cut the stem so it can fit in my side vase. It's loud, sorry. Oh, stems are flying. All right, so pop that over there. Do a little regrouping on my table. All right, so the other request, the second bouquet I'm going to make is kind of a wildflower look, natural garden. I have a lot of requests for just that really whimsical look. I use a lot of Leanne. We're going to do the close-up, although I think most people know what daisy palms look like.
Almost. Hold. It's there. There's a daisy palm.
Yes, thank you. You know, your clients will ask you or they'll tell you, my favorite flower is the daisy. Okay, that's lovely. I can do that. I have stopped explaining to people that this is really a chrysanthemum. They don't really care. They just want the look. And another flower you can use with it is like the Monte Cassino aster, which I do not have today, but it's an option. So I'm just going to prep these pieces. I love this other flower that is not quite as known. Oops, I just realized something. I meant to put these cute bunny tails that are peach in the neutral bouquet, so we'll have to do that off camera. But they just go so well with that peach. So fun.
They want to know if you have a name for the style of that peach bouquet. I know I didn't have-
Pacific Northwest West meets tropical.
There we go.
Yes. I think, what do they call it? I go to an event in Hawaii every year in the fall. They call it, goodness, there's a term.
Dainty Meets Tropical is from Sherry.
Oh, cute.
And Jim says you're doing a really good job being a film director, guiding me through.
Oh, yes. I wanted to show our audience these, they're called Solomeo. They're a carnation.
And we're there. Hold.
Hold.
Okay.
Awesome. Good job, Leanne. But they're so fun. They are not really your typical carnation look. So I feel that people embrace it. I jokingly call them, or like their nicknames for me is like butterfly carnation. That's not a technical term at all, or a botanical name, but I like them.
We've got so many good names. Tropical and temperate.
Oh yes,
Coast
tropical,
to coast.
tropical and temperate. Yes.
Coast to coast. Pacific Northwest meets tropical.
Yes.
Neotropical. Pacific Northwest meets the equator.
I have
Too
these
fun.
really cute garden spray roses. I don't know the variety or anything, but they were given to me this weekend. I freelanced for a good friend of mine, and she had some leftovers for me. So,
And then they come to us.
yes.
Double dipping leftovers.
Well, they're just so beautiful to let just sit in the cooler.
They are gorgeous.
But they're a little heavy on the heads, so when I put them in a bouquet, I'm gonna need a little support for them. And then we have, now you're gonna have to remind me the name of this beautiful garden rose.
Is it blue?
Oh
Like
yeah,
country blue.
country blue.
Yeah, you got
It's
it.
not blue.
Country blue, yeah.
And we should
Drink
get
out
a,
Ricky, yay.
can we get a close up?
Okay, I
Yeah.
am ready, and it is close. Oh, it looks good on the camera, yay.
It's so roughly and beautiful. So, get a few of those as our kind of focal flower.
You know, the way you have it laid out on the
Yes.
table,
Is it
you
pretty?
set that really well. It looks great. Your spacing and placement is perfect.
Oh,
Yay,
thank
Annie.
you. Thank you.
Kudos for Ricky to getting the camera set correctly, because that wasn't my skill. But she had it set, and it looks perfect.
Well, it gives the audience something to look at while I prep as well. These are just so pretty. Goodness. I do have clients though, lately that do not want any roses in their wedding.
What?
Yeah, I
Oh my
feel like
goodness.
it's just so like standard, normal. But it's their wedding. They can have whatever they want or whatever they don't want, right?
So Andrea is watching you as she recovers from foot and ankle surgery.
Ooh.
So you are the entertainment.
Ooh. Rest up.
Lori says country blue is one of her most requested roses for Mother's Day.
Oh, beautiful. So it's lilac season in Portland right now, actually. And these came from my yard.
Oh, wow.
I had to kind of not fall in the pond. I have a pond too. And so,
With duckies.
yes, with duckies.
I'm jealous.
I know, I had to show you those. They were so cute. And then this also came from my yard. The green viburnum, right? Yeah.
So Dana wants to know if you have a recommendation for a white wedding rose.
Yes, I do. My very favorite is the Playa Blanca, which is white beach. Whoa, weird. I love the beach and the ocean. It's kind of a little bit of a premium, but not quite a garden rose. It's very sturdy, it works very well. And then my favorite spray rose is Snowflake. Do other people have favorites? Leanne, do you have a favorite?
I don't. I like Eskimo because it's
Oh, yeah.
smaller.
It is.
And it's white.
Mhm.
I love the creamy white of Vendella, but I don't like the texture of the petals.
Right,
of
the
Vendella.
outer petals always seem like they need moisturizer. They're always wrinkly. These also came from my yard. These grow everywhere. Leanne, I'm gonna get a close up if you can. Let's.
Oh, you're pushing me. There we go. Okay, we're close up. Hold. Oh, wow, what a cool close up. Okay, you're good.
These grow like weeds, and a lot of people who have a beautiful manicured garden find that they're very invasive and they're everywhere. But I like them, and I don't have a manicured garden, so maybe that's the difference there with likes and whatnot. Okay, so here is, I just have like this magic stash of greens below me.
So we're hearing about rose likes with Majolicas, Playa Blanca, Mondials, Polo.
Okay, I've heard a lot of people do like polo. Sorry about my mess. I got a bits mess. I need a bits bucket.
Tibet.
Tibet, yes.
And then they want to know what your bluebells were, so it was
Bluebells, yes. But it grows everywhere. We're pretty lucky around here. We have, the purus that grows in many yards. Nandina, smoke bush, nine bark. Okay, so it's a little bit of a hairy mess over here, but we're doing it.
Diane says that they have no bloom yet in Colorado, that you are so lucky.
Yeah, we are lucky. Oh, I was supposed to show the special technique. One moment, please. I think I was doing it on these, right? I don't even know how I did it. Is it just like this?
I didn't see it, I was watching.
I don't know. I have to maybe be holding a bouquet. No, I don't think I did. I don't even know.
Did you put your bouquet under your arm and then?
Maybe, okay, if I pretend to hold a bouquet, and then maybe it's this action. I don't know.
No, that doesn't
Well,
seem-
I'll have to see the
We'll
replay.
have to go back to the replay.
Okay. Then we'll,
Maybe Ricky can edit it out and do a little clip.
like
for
little
us.
TikTok
It'll be
action.
a Tulip Tuesday tip.
Oh, yes. That'll be awesome. Okay. I think I have enough going on here, so we'll just get started. Oops, this one didn't get prepped.
Oh, Robin says no the other way. So maybe you had
Oh.
leaves that you were keeping on under your arm and
Oh.
stripping.
I have no more ruscus. We'll have to do this. We'll have to recreate the moment. All right, so let's just get started. I don't know where to start. All these pretty things. Actually, I usually start with a flower that is very, very sturdy. And that would be kind of my metal. And I'm just gonna do a spiral hand tie. And let's see. And I think most people do remove the foliage on the viburnum, but these are so fresh that I just know that I don't have to. Not this time. So we're just adding there's a couple things that I just have 2 stems of. Well, I guess it's mostly just the spray rose, so I want to put that in sooner than later and on kind of opposite sides. And I do that a lot with, like, if you use Eryngium, that is a flower that you maybe only just need a couple stems of. My Solomeos are lost. Okay, here we go. Else is going on out there?
Well, they love your color palette.
We forgot to ask about first timers. Oopsie.
But Susie and Caledonia have been putting it in there. And
Okay.
I haven't seen any first timers. Ricky, have you seen any come in?
I haven't seen any, and I even asked myself.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Scott says he likes your laid out stems approach to designing.
Thank you.
He says we would plant our bouquets in buckets standing up.
I'm doing this so that you don't have to see my back, Scott, so you can see my beautiful front and the flowers being made.
Question is, do the lilacs hold up well in the bouquet?
It holds up okay. Like, if they're fresh and are treated with, you know, like if you cut the stems, pound them, scrape them. I usually just do like a crisscross kind of action. Kind of have to be your own judge of that. Kind of like hydrangeas. You can kind of tell if they're going to make it or not, right? At least, I mean, I think. I don't know. Then you just have to say a little prayer and be prepared to have a backup plan.
Then Diane wants to know if that viburnum is the same kind that gets berries in the fall, and I don't think it is.
I don't
think
know.
it's a different type of bush.
Okay.
Me, who doesn't have a garden, is answering that question, so that,
Well,
take it for what it's worth.
I have a garden, but I don't really tend to it. I just let it happen, and then we see what happens.
Diana is a first timer, just popped up.
Yay!
on
Welcome,
Facebook.
Diana. And I'm kind of tucking the bluebells in later.
Janet has a question.
What's the question?
She's wondering, scale-wise,
Mhm.
are bouquets getting larger? Your last one seemed quite large.
Oh, the size of our bouquets tend to be, I think, a little bit bigger around here. Our clients like a lot of greenery. But then there's clients that just don't want any greenery at all. So I guess if there's greenery, they're a little bit more robust. Where is Janet from? I'm curious if
She's
it's
the
a-
East Coast.
Okay.
New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. On my questionnaire that I have for my elopement clients, I always ask them, do they want a small bouquet or a average bouquet or big bouquet? I get a lot of requests for big bouquets.
Another first timer on YouTube, Leanne. So welcome, Leanne.
It's another Leanne.
I know. She spells hers with an I, though.
Okay. Welcome, Leanne. All right, so this is coming along. I also think that my clients who are doing elopements, they don't really have any other flowers, or sometimes they will, but a lot of times they just have the bouquet, and so they just want it to be big and lush and beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to
That
add
hot
more.
pink just makes it pop.
I know, isn't it fun?
It's perfect in there.
And then they've got their daisies. Some of them have slid down a little bit, so I'm just pulling them up. And just like how the bluebells give it so much dimension. Okay, and whoops. Pop a few of these. Leanne, remind me the name of this. It's a kind of allium.
It is allium. I don't know what special kind, but it is allium.
Okay, special allium. That's kind of a blue violet, right? What would you describe this color?
Kind of blue violet.
Okay,
Yeah.
good job, Annie.
Yeah, it truly looks blue violet when you get it in with the lilacs.
Okay. Just kind of popping these above, giving it some dimension. This, I wish that you guys could smell this. It's like so heavenly. Well, the allium smells like onions, but the lilac. Okay. Getting this in. All right. So if you can't make it tomorrow to our wedding class, we do have it available online. Is it the same class or a different wedding class, Leanne?
It's very similar.
Okay.
Very similar, yeah.
And it's a good time to refresh right before wedding season starts for a lot of us.
Susie in Caledonia just put the link in to the Wildflower boot camp online.
Okay.
And that way people can find that. Because one of the bouquets that we do in there is a hand tie.
And I'm just gonna bind this off. Ricky, what's going on?
Yeah, Lori's asking what everyone's favorite binding mechanics are for bouquets.
Yes, that is definitely a big question.
And then I saw another question about your color harmony for this. Sailor's wondering if you were to add in something light blue, would that throw off your color harmony or expand it?
I think it would expand it. There is this violet blue going on. And it would look really nice with the gunai eucalyptus, I think. It's whatever the bride wants. Even if they want something really weird, you just do it for them.
I'm gonna say, isn't that lovely?
Isn't that lovely? That is so unique. You want a white and green and blush wedding? Oh, so unique. Everyone has that. Okay, so I'm going to just chop this, put it in the vase next to me, and we'll move on so I can get to our last piece. But I love this like combination. It's pretty crazy and fun. All right, so all right, so our last piece, we have like 10 minutes, but we'll be quick. I often will suggest to our clients how to repurpose their flowers from ceremony to reception. And one idea is to use a gripper bowl and convert that into a piece that you can hang. So on the back, I'm going to show Leanne on camera.
And Leanne has it up, yay.
So this is the back of a gripper bowl. I'm hoping it's not too glaring, but I take a drill, I drill 2 holes and I feed a piece of cable tie, zip tie, whatever you want to call it. I put a 1/3 block of foam in and railroad tape it with the 1/2 inch so it's nice and secure. And then what we do is we make what will eventually be a centerpiece, but we can first use in the arbor or somewhere else. So I do like leather a lot. I use leather to cover a lot of mechanics. Oops. It's not something that is seen like a lot of it. You'll get a little glimpse of it, but it's just and I like Plimosa, or some of our economy greens are really great for just covering this gripper bowl, because you definitely don't want that to be seen. Okay, that's a good piece. Fun thing with leather is sometimes what I'll do is I'll take two pieces and like cross them so that there's more coverage on top and cover the foam.
That's a great technique.
Yeah, it's
Race right up there with, stripping foliage with your arm.
with my arms. Let's see, what should we use? Oh yeah, we're gonna use this cherry laurel that we have an abundance of. So with these centerpieces that you're going to use in the arbor, I highly suggest that they're made ahead of time and on a table so that you can ensure that your mechanics are well covered. Otherwise, sometimes when we do just pieces on site, you can't see the sides. So if you do move it to a table and it looks unprofessional, that would reflect poorly on you. So I'm just getting these pieces in. So what I heard earlier is that there is a lot of request for white and green still, and that is true for at least me and a lot of my friends that are florists in the Pacific Northwest. Any other fun color palettes?
I haven't seen that. They are responding to what's the best way to tie things on. We've been hearing thicker waterproof tape, raffia, and bind wire.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I saw come through.
Okay. I'm just adding some silver dollar eucalyptus for more texture. And cover my gripper bowl. And the gripper bowl is going to be a lot less expensive than your standard cage that you might use. So that's another way to kind of expand your budget, or the client's budget. Ouch. And then once you get kind of your greens and your filler in, you just have to pop in a few flowers and that would be sufficient. And then if your client has more budget, then you can absolutely go more. Okay, so here is a gripper bowl that's nice and full. I mean, pretty full, right? Pretty full. It's pitiful. And then we're just going to add some manila roses. And I always want to make sure that, like, from all sides you can see some roses, because this will be transferred to a table. But you will also want it to be seen from the side, or like when it's hung to the side, so that you see those roses as well facing you at the ceremony. So how you charge for this is you have to definitely account for more flowers and greenery than, say, like an arch. You make some kind of arch or accent that you do that is only seen from the front. So more greens and more flowers.
Dennis brought up to be careful when you are transitioning things from one spot to another that you can get through.
Yes, absolutely. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roses in this arrangement. And then we're going to just use some mini carnations that are nice and bloomy and beautiful. We're going to put those a little tighter in because you don't want that to, say, be the star of the show, but to be an accent. So then just imagine this client has 10 tables. So we have 10 pieces to play with for their arbor. And you know, this may not always be practical. Like I'm not in a dream world, but if the area that you live in is super hot and you know that this would not survive between ceremony and reception, then don't do this at all. Bad idea. But if you're in a kind of mild area like we are in the Pacific Northwest, this is a fine way to repurpose some flowers. I've even done smaller versions of this for like a church pew, so indoor venue, and attach them and then move them to the table. So here is what I would consider a nice, lovely white and green basic centerpiece that could be used on like attached to an arbor. So we would have multiple pieces. I'm off camera grabbing another piece. So this is an oblong one that I made off camera. So imagine this as being the arch. And then you could also, lower. Leanne says lower. And you can do a corner, you can do like, you know, it could be as big or small. And then
it looks like football cheerleaders, pom-poms.
and then this piece or a couple of these pieces. So this one is made, and I'll show you the mechanics, in one of these trays that I can't remember who manufactures them, but they're very inexpensive. Again, less expensive than a caged thing, you know, a caged foam. And then again, you would drill some holes, pre-do your zip ties, and then you can use that. And then the last idea I'm going to show you before we end this session, I can't believe it's almost over already, is when you transition this to a table, sure, this is fine and beautiful, right? Or you can pop it in a container, so the zip tie would be gone because you can move that. And this would be a lovely piece. And no one would know that it happened to be from the ceremony to reception. So thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you found some tips and tricks that might be helpful to you in helping your clients budget for this upcoming wedding season. See you next time. Same time, same place. Bye.